Good day, YouTubers. I hope you're well today. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you have heard the news that the great Larry King has passed away at age 87. And he did a 26-minute interview with Meghan Markle back in 2013 and her co star, Patrick J. Adams. Meghan is a huge diva. She's known for being a diva, walking around with a hat over her head, her head down onto movie sets, acting like she's the ultimate A-lister. And everybody's like, I don't even know who that is. Oh, that's Meghan Markle. So I'm kind of wondering, how was Meghan's relationship with Patrick Adams? And we'll look at this interview a little bit. What was Larry King's impression of Meghan? Meghan Markle tells Larry King she was terrified of sex scene in Suits Unearthed clip. Was she? I mean, or is she a yacht girl? Was she a pro? I mean, the cards seem to suggest that she came up through kind of the yacht girl scene and with these very wealthy men making these connections very literally. That's you're going to get pretty practiced at that kind of thing. And you're not going to be afraid of anything. Mr. Adams, the co-star, told Larry, I feel like saying the last scene of the last season where we got very intimate in a file room in the office. That's his favorite scene. What has been, Larry King asked, what was your favorite scene to film together? The sex scene. It was a sex scene. It was the culmination of a lot of pent up emotions and movie sets, and that can get really tense because there's long hours and uh, a lot of hard work. Meghan joked, it was what people wanted to see from Mike and Rachel, their characters, and it happened in a file room. That's a very famous scene, and you see a lot of photos of it. I'll flash one up there. So, was she terrified of this sex scene? How Larry King left Meghan flustered with seductive comment. And a lot of Meghan's old stuff has been cleared out by the royal family. And hopefully, now that she's left the royal family, it's going to start reappearing on the internet. But they really purged the internet of her past. So Larry King asks Meghan, who's Rachel? Meghan. The now Duchess replies that her character is the paralegal at the fictional TV point. At this point, he says, seductive? Meghan pauses for a second before replying. I don't know. Do you think so, Larry? Playing the innocent little girl. So let's look at what does Larry think of Meghan? How was her relationship with Patrick Adams, the co-star? Because she's a known diva. There are some actors and actresses who can barely stand the sight of each other, and yet they have to show this hot chemistry on the set. It could be like that, or they could really have a good friendship. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. So the great Larry King has passed away. He was an icon out there doing interviews for a long time, and he interviewed Meghan back in 2013. So let's take a look at this because this is resurfacing. A 26-minute interview with Larry King is like being interviewed by Oprah or Ellen. Ellen is more famous than Oprah now, but Ellen, I don't watch Ellen anymore. She may have fallen on a hard time. She got a lot of bad press. But that's a pretty big deal to get a 26-minute interview with Larry King. So was this a breakout for her? How did this affect her career? Should have been a nice positive bump for her. Because you put in all the hard work and then suddenly you get an opportunity. Let's see what we got. Was this a breakout for Meghan? Well, we've got Executioner, we've got Devil. We've got some really negative cards here. We've got Snake and Devil, Slow and Complicated. All right, let's read the spread. Mercury, Cross, Cup overflowing. She was overjoyed
This was a great opportunity. 26, 7 diamonds. Sevens return forever, so this goes. This is like a permanent thing. This is an interview. This is a feather in Meghan's cap that can never be taken away, and it just came out of the blue. Uh, she was overjoyed to have this interview. Overjoyed. It was really a great opportunity. This is the kind of thing that she's waiting to happen. You know, you get the big role, you get this opportunity. You know, it can really change the course of everything. Fox, very clever. We have a lot of clever cards. Executioner. Executioner is very ruthless. Can really be very mean. Devil. Straight razor. Manifesting. Very bad problems. Strength. Snake. Problems in the environment. So strength and snake is like problems in the environment with the people. You know, she's such a diva. And I want to look at that. You know, was she already diva-ing all the time? And there's a lot of evidence that she was. She was such a diva even then. And so this was a fantastic opportunity for her. But in the near future, she was stuck and manifesting bad relationships. This looks to me like, even though this was a great opportunity, it's a home run, had a interview with Larry King, there's so much negativity surrounding Meghan that she didn't have that groundswell of support that she needed. But there are people like Harvey Weinstein who are kept safe for years and years and years, and he was very powerful, very rich, very well connected. He was a star maker, and yet he was doing all those terrible things. Where in this case, the people didn't, you know, the other actors and producers and directors didn't seem to be supporting Meghan. So she had this great opportunity, and she did this interview, but it kind of petered out. That's what it looks like to me. Let's look at her relationship with Patrick Adams, her co-star. You know, there's a lot of these, they look on the show like they have great chemistry. Okay, and there's these very hot scenes. And chemistry, you know, a great actor, a great actress can make a movie, a show, a hit. And so that chemistry is everything. What was their chemistry like? Did they like each other? Was it, you know, this is really bad over here. This looks to me like really bad relationships. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Meghan, you know, how was her relationship with Patrick? And that's a key relationship. She needed to keep him happy. Patrick. Ooh. Oh my. Yeah, so we're filling in the picture here. That's what's going on. So what's going on with Patrick? Coffin, dead. Earthquake. Something really bad happened between them. Just work, 24-6, 6 spades. He wasn't feeling it at all. It was just work for him. There was no positive relationship. So just like anybody, okay, in any kind of work environment, if you have a good attitude and you're intelligent, you're going to do fine. Okay, she was intelligent, but people didn't like her. Okay, her guy, the co-star, who she is, you know, doing that relationship with that co-star, Patrick, and that's why they interviewed together. That's the key relationship. She needs to have a fantastic relationship with him. He feels the relationship is absolutely awful. He couldn't stand her, and it was just work, and 6 spades. She was just really selfish. It was bad. What does she see? Crossroads, 3 blackbirds, Trinity. Trinity is a great work card. People working together, actions of people working together, and decisions. 8, 11, 3, 3, 3. this is just, he's feeling used. He feels like there's no connection. She seems oblivious. Okay, there's no hearts over here, but this is not a negative spread on her side. Okay, doing this for work. Okay, this is just work. Just work. This is just work 12. They're interacting for work. Now, as far as she's concerned, everything is fine. And he's not telling her. She was completely oblivious. I find that interesting. She didn't see the effect she was having on him. And he was just, I think he actually hated her. Okay, and so he was incredibly disappointed. Okay, so in card spreads like this, when a couple is fighting and one couple is ghosting, one side of the two is ghosting, and you're reading a spread and you see the 10 spades and the coffin, it's, this is a terrible breakup and he just wants it to be over. It's torture to interact with Meghan for the male co-star. It's just torture. He's not feeling it at all. It's just torture. It's not indifference. It's torture. Okay, and that's what we're seeing over here. The devil, Meghan may be kind of a talented actress, but it's kind of like execution is very organized. People didn't like her. Okay, and so it didn't help. She had this great opportunity. She got on Larry King for 26 minutes, but the relationships were so bad that nothing took off. And that's what happened. The relationships were so bad that it didn't take off for her. So actually, this Larry King interview could have propelled Meghan beyond Suits onto other great programs if she had that support, but she didn't because the relationships were so bad. That's an interesting lesson, because people are always saying it's who you know. Okay, and they knew Meghan and they didn't like Meghan. What was Larry King's impression of Meghan? Because he probably just met her for those 26 minutes, and she's a lovely girl. She smelled nice. She was wearing perfume, and she's showing him the face that she wants to show him. He's trying to ask the tough questions. Seductive Meghan, what was his impression of Meghan? Because I think a lot of people had very good impressions of Meghan. It's not hard to be fun and flirty and giggly for 26 minutes in front of the great man Larry King. And some of these guys, like Spielberg and some of these other guys, they will be really abusive and kind of dare you to break character and even notice how abusive they're being, how vile, how terrible, how awful. I sincerely doubt Larry King did that, but some people in power will do that. They'll just be absolutely abusive, and you have to hold character and be polite, and you can't even mention, why are you drinking baby's blood in front of me? That's kind of weird. You can't say things like that with some of these really powerful people, and some people really played it to the hilt, and thank God they're in prison now. So what was like Harvey? What was Larry King's impression of Meghan? Good. 7 and 13, 5 spades. He's very intuitive. That makes sense. Larry King is an intuitive guy. On the surface, very nice, but he's feeling something under the surface. He's watching. Okay. And I was looking at those pictures, and I'm looking at the body language. And the body language was good between Meghan and her co-star. They were leaning towards each other. They weren't touching, but they had good professional body language. They seemed to be working together. But that's not the reality. Okay, so he was intuitive enough to pick that up. What's underneath? ruler, scourge, and Mother Earth. Conflict in the environment, 25, 28, hidden conflict in the environment. Hidden conflict between the man and the woman. He picked up that there was conflict between Meghan and her co-star. So Larry's an intuitive guy. I'm sure he'd be a great reader. Which is what, these things can be applied to lots of different things, and he applied it to people and interviewing and whatnot. So Meghan said she was terrified of that sex scene. How did she feel about it? Was she a pro? Was this just like she's just chewing and popping her gum and saying, "Catch me outside," or is she like terrified? Like, I'm a virgin and I'm terrified. I don't see Meghan doing that. I think was Meghan terrified of that sex scene? Because he said, the co-star, he said it was the best scene. That was his favorite scene. So that indicates they had good, it was good. It wasn't weird, it wasn't tense. Because scenes like that especially can be really weird, really tense. There's not a good relationship between the male and the female co-stars, and they do this really crazy intimate scene, and it has to look real. You have to make it look real, and the audience has to be, it has to be fun, and that's hard to do if you can't stand the person. So was Meghan terrified? It's a lie. Star Bethlehem. There's 1 million stars in the sky. She's been with 1 million guys. 2 clubs, 7 diamonds. And 6 spades is the dirty sex card. Just sex. Just sex, no feelings. So she's had sex 8 and 7, 15, 4 clubs. 4 clubs is the sex act. Okay, that's getting jiggy. That's pounding it out. So this says she's had sex with countless guys. Star Bethlehem. She engaged in sex with countless men. This activity, 4 clubs. She has engaged in sex with countless men. Underneath, scapegoat, 9 spades, no, and 5 spades. Blockage and no, full stop, and keeping it outside. 17, 22. 25, 20, 6 hearts, 6 diamonds, many people. No, she is secretly outside of this, very, 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 very secretly. She's been with many, many men, and she's keeping that outside of public view. So, yeah, this, how dark it is underneath says to me that she's ashamed of this, and there are many, 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 many men that she's been with. So right on the surface, she's been with countless men. Star Bethlehem. How many stars are there in the sky? Go to Arizona where there's no lights. Man, you're going to see a lot of stars. You can't count that many stars. And it's like, wow. Okay, that's how many men she's been with. So a lot. I find it interesting how intuitive Mr. Larry King was. Okay, so did this help Meghan? This was a huge opportunity. This was huge. This was, she got the role on Suits. That's really big. And then on top of that, she got this interview, 26 minutes. That's a full-length interview with Larry King, the famous Larry King. But it didn't go anywhere because she had so many devil wants to hurt you. Executioners organized. Okay, so, and Fox are people waiting for an opportunity to hurt Meghan. So they really threw wrenches in the machinery to prevent Meghan from succeeding. And then right after her role on Suits, she was looking for a rich English guy. And she was with that lady, that famous interviewer lady in England. She was moving countries. She was changing countries. So I think Meghan had some very bad enemies in the movie industry. But she's successfully remade herself as a duchess, which she failed as a duchess. But she's doing on the surface, she's doing the right thing. She had a lot of enemies. She made a lot of enemies. She was really, really, really hard to deal with. She made a lot of enemies. That was a fantastic opportunity, and it should have propelled her to the next level of stardom. But it didn't, because she made so many enemies. And Larry King knows that he's a star maker. Larry King knows what the power he has by interviewing her. Okay, how was the relationship? And that's what I'm looking for. How was the relationship between Meghan and Patrick Adams? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I was going to say it couldn't be worse. You could see the devil or the executioner here, but you do see the devil and executioner here, and the snake. These are the three most malicious, angry cards where I'm going to get you. And we have the Magi, the manifester. We have all these terrible cards, and people are manifesting this against Meghan. She had a lot of people that really didn't like her in suits. And what's his name? Patrick Adams, he's one of them. He's closest to her. He has to interact with her all the time. She's oblivious. That is what is so shocking to me. She's oblivious. She's just head down, doing her job, I'm just here to do my job, and I'm Meghan, and I'm going to do a great job. And that's what she was doing, and she was oblivious to all this malice around her. That's interesting, and I'm going to get crap for this, but I feel sorry for Meghan that she was so oblivious to this malignancy that was growing around her. Now, it is her fault. Okay, it's her fault. Okay, sending out the 10 Commandments of Frogmore, don't pet the dog, don't offer to... That's the kind of malignancy she's creating. And it is her fault, but she seems blissfully unaware of it. She's just doing her job, just doing the work. Okay, what was Larry King's impression of Meghan? What I find so fascinating, he saw the conflict between Meghan and Patrick. He saw the hidden conflict, 7 spades. He saw the hidden 28, 7 spades. He saw the hidden conflict, and it's here too, 5 spades. He kept it nice on the surface. He played along. He didn't call them out, but he saw it. He's very intuitive. God bless this man. He saw it. So, was Meghan terrified of the sex scene? Heck no. She's had sex with more men than can be counted. And underneath, you can see how 8 spades is a card of shame. She's not going to let this get out. How many men she's had sex with. All the things that she's done to get where she got. Okay, and probably Patrick, he's probably seeing some of this, and this will turn people, when people think you're hiding something, this will turn people against you. And I think that's what's happening. People on the set, on Suits, they felt like Meghan was not who she appeared to be. It's right on the surface, but they just didn't like her. And that's why she tried to leave and go to England. She tried to change countries. She had such bad relationships. And she successfully did that. She landed Harry in England. And then foolishly she came back. She should have just been a royal. Anyway, so another missed opportunity by Meghan. An opportunity that didn't turn into what it should have. And, she probably would have been a much bigger artist, actress, if she had had support from those people. The people on Suits and the other actors and actresses. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. The like button raises the video in the algorithm.